أحسنت ما شاء الله brother Abbas, the beautiful recitation. Please recite with Allah salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I love this song. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين بالقاسم محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Respected elders in the community, brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Tonight we give our sad condolences to the followers of the Ahlul Bayt on this sad occasion. This occasion we remember the passing away of the Holy Prophet and his beloved grandson, Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam. Tonight we really focus on the family of the Prophet. The reason why we do focus on the family of the Prophet is because of two things. One is oppression and the other one is suppression. Suppression meaning what? Meaning people don't really talk about the family of the Prophet. You'll see in Islam, many people talk about the Holy Prophet and then they realize, don't worry about the family, we'll just stop it at the Holy Prophet and his companions. They don't really go out of their way to talk about the family. That's suppression. Oppression is if they want to talk about the family of the Holy Prophet, it will always be in the negative term. This Imam Hassan alayhi salam, it's really sad that many Muslims today, they believe Imam Hassan alayhi salam, he wasn't a true Imam. He was just, he lived an easy life, a quiet life. He was not too brave. He didn't rise too much against oppression. A lot of the time people will say this, especially Muslims. That's why we have to focus on the family of the Prophet as well as the Holy Prophet. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Arguably one of my most favorite quotes of the Holy Prophet, and the most favorite quotes of the followers of the Holy Prophet is the Holy Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, a believer, a Muslim, is not a Muslim unless he loves me over his own parents and he loves my children over his own children. SubhanAllah. That's why when we look at oppression and suppression, the Holy Prophet said no prophet that ever lived has been through so much oppression like I have been. And we know Prophet Yahya alayhi salam, he was tortured and he was killed. There's been prophets who their own face has been ripped off by their own people. Yet our Holy Prophet has been through the most oppression. The reason why a lot of Muslims, they believe the Holy Prophet, he went through oppression and by the time he passed away, it was one of his oppression. No. The Holy Prophet went through oppression during his life and even more after his life. If it wasn't 80 years, look at the time of Imam Ali alayhi salam, 80 years after the time of Imam Ali alayhi salam, people would pay, the Khalifa at the time would pay people at the Jamaat podium after they finished Jummah prayers on Friday. They were on their khutbah, they would pay them to say La'anatullah an Ali Nabi Talib, astaghfirullah. 80 years. And 20 years at the time of Muawiyah's Khalifa, his ruling, he would slaughter you if you said you loved him, you followed him, or you even mentioned his name. He would slaughter you and your family. He would cause so much oppression in the land. That's why tonight we have to look at Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam and the Holy Prophet and the oppression they have gone through. Will Ferosha, in his book, he writes that Imam Hassan alayhi salam, the only thing he did really in his life was two things, marry and divorce. Right? He would marry constantly and he would divorce constantly.
Who's the source that you read? Who's the source? Person who wrote in the book?
Will Ferosha.
Is that a Sunni or Shia scholar?
I'm not too sure. I have to look for you. I doubt it's Shia.
Sometimes it's not to support them based on the Sunni method. Unless,
Oh no, I don't think it's Sunni.
it's not the Shia.
No, it's not Shia either.
That's negative.
Yeah, negative. This is considered an intellectual book, by the way.
Oh, okay.
How embarrassing. They used to call him a habitual divorcee. They used to say he was like lived an easy life, a quiet life. He wouldn't talk too much against the oppression at his time. Even our Shias, our followers of the Ahlul Bayt, they say that Imam Hassan alayhi salam, he's not as brave as Imam Hussein alayhi salam. People say this. Yet, if you look at this, if you switch the two Imams around, they will do the exact same thing as the other Imam. SubhanAllah, that's the wisdom behind the Imams. Such quotes and opinions by these people is a great disgrace and a great negative put down to the Prophet and his holy family. That's why what I want to talk about today is that we have to end the oppression of the family of the Holy Prophet. As we claim we are the greatest followers of the Holy Prophets, we must end the oppression and these attributes. You'll see the attributes to Imam Hassan and Mustafa alayhi salam is very similar to the attributes of the Holy Prophet. The attribute to the Holy Prophet is that, he's a womanizer. So many people say he's a man of women, he likes getting married a lot of the time. He wasn't very brave, he used to write a lot of treaties. People said he wasn't very brave. Can you imagine a man who fought in over 80 wars, he was not brave? What's he talking about? That's why you look, how many Muslims know about the story of the Battle of Jamal? The Battle of Jamal and Imam Hassan alayhi salam's contribution in the Battle of Jamal. Imam Ali alayhi salam, the father of Imam Hassan al-Muslim alayhi salam, said, Oh Hassan, if it was only for you, if I only sent you to the battlefield, you could have annihilated and completely wiped out the enemy side in the Battle of Jamal. You'll see that Imam Hassan alayhi salam will constantly go forward and back. The reason he'll go back is because Imam Ali alayhi salam said, Oh Hassan, come back. He said, Father, what is it? He said, I know your bravery. And I know you could have wiped all these people out, but you are the Imam after me. I cannot let you go into the middle of the battlefield. And imagine if Imam Ali alayhi salam says that if it was only for Imam Hassan to wipe out the whole enemy front lines, Imam Ali alayhi salam, the Amir al-Mu'mineen, he knows who a true warrior is. He obviously knows who a true warrior is. This is the time of Battle of Siffin. Imam Hassan alayhi salam had an amazing effort in the Battle of Siffin. The enemy's side, the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they would constantly say in the Battle of Siffin, 3 people you need to take out. Number 1, Imam Ali alayhi salam. Number 2, Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And number 3, Malik bin Ashtar. He said, you knock down these 3 people and you'll win the war. If you don't knock them down, you have no chance of winning. That's why Ubaydullah bin Umar bin Khattab, he used to come to Imam Hassan alayhi salam, knowing his bravery. And obviously on behalf of Muawiyah alayhi, he would say, your father, he said, come to Imam Hassan alayhi salam and said, your father, many Arabs hate him. Why did many Arabs hate him? He said, when he was younger, he would have killed all those people's fathers. They would hate him so much. He said, take this envelope and go. Take out this money and come with us. We'll take care of you like no one else will take care of you. Wallahi, Imam Hassan alayhi salam went to Ubaydullah bin Umar bin Khattab. He said, a man like me, joining a man like you, and a man like me whose father, leaving a father like mine, he said, don't worry, inshallah you will die. And if you look at this history, subhanallah, Ubaydullah bin Umar bin Khattab died very soon later. Very soon. Now we know the bravery of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And we must completely kill the injustice of what people say about him and about the Holy Prophet. Yes,
well, I can stop you there. When you started saying about the oppression against the Prophet, the oppression still exists today. I can give you proof, living proof. In Sydney, the night was the 31st of December, the night of Shahada of our Prophet. There were maybe just 2 centers commemorating the Shahada of the Prophet. What a travesty in this time. Tell me, isn't the Prophet more important than your own relatives? So how come there are only 2 programs in the whole of Sydney? That's a travesty. Then what about Imam Hassan's program? Nothing. It's all going to be brought up on Friday. What are we doing? Nothing. We don't go to the leaders of the centers and say, where is the night of Shahada of the Prophet? We have to leave everything for that night for our Prophet. He died for us.
That's true.
Nothing has happened. So we are the oppressors.
That's true. Also his companions. Many Muslims today, they believe the Holy Prophet passed away on his birthday. And the reason they say that is to suppress the status of the Holy Prophet. He passed away on his birthday. They say you can't celebrate it because he passed away. And you cannot commemorate it because he was born on that day. so they completely suppress it. The same people who said this ahadith, obviously we do not accept such rubbish ahadith, doesn't make any sense. The same people who attribute this ahadith are the people who are so-called his companions. Now let me take you back to the time of Prophet Musa alayhi salam and how he fought injustice at his time. Look at Prophet Musa alayhi salam when he came to his followers, his people. When he first told them about that he was the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what did he do first? There was great injustice at the time. We have Fir'aun la'natullahi alayhi at the time. The Prophet Musa alayhi salam say, I am your Nabi, I am your Prophet, believe in Allah, and then he goes through the fiqh, and then he goes through the this, that, and the other. No. Prophet Musa alayhi salam, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say to Prophet Musa? He said, oh Musa, go to the courtroom of Fir'aun. First of all, what did he have to do? Every single prophet, he had to do amr bil ma'aruf wa nahi anil munkar. He had to end the oppression and rise justice amongst the land. That's why, likewise, we look at the time of Imam Ali alayhi salam, he said, after the time of the Holy Prophet, the passing away of the Holy Prophet, I was constantly being oppressed by my people, constantly being oppressed. Imam Ali alayhi salam was in chains, they ripped his beard off, they hit him, they bruised him, they put him in so much oppression. That's why Imam Ali alayhi salam said this saying that is really shocking. He said, there will never be a time in history where saying my name will be easy. It will always be difficult no matter where you were. Every prophet rose against injustice. That's why we have to look at their examples. The reason we look at the prophets and the imams is because they have examples and lessons that we can teach to our children so that they can teach their children. Imam Ali alayhi salam said, teach your children quickly before other oppressors get to them. They said your son, your child is like an uncultivated piece of land. Whatever you plant on it, it will take it straight away. It doesn't matter what goes into it. For example, people who have the white supremacy, right? They had a riot in 1973, right? They had a very recent riot. There was a young white supremacy child. The child is not a racist. Other people are racist. No one is born a racist. That child went up to an African-American police officer and he gave him a hug. The child does not know what racism is at that age. But once the people teach that child the wrong, the haram, then it changes. No matter what you teach your child, that whatever example you set to your child, he will learn from you. That's why Prophet Musa alayhi salam was an example of the prophets, how a prophet rose against injustice. If you want to look at how the people rise against injustice, we must look at the time of Prophet Shu'aib alayhi salam. Prophet Shu'aib alayhi salam, he had a lot of people. His people were known for two major crimes. One of the crimes is they didn't give equal money back. When people bought something, they didn't give them equal change back. The second crime is they were highway robbers, where they'll stop you halfway on your journey. They will strip you all of your riches, your jewels, everything. They'll take your horse, your camel, and they'll throw you into the desert and everything's gone. There are two things they were mainly known for their oppression. Now, the angel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to Nabi Shu'aib. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has planned for the fate of these people. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will wipe every single one out. You take your handful of companions, your handful of followers, your true followers, and you leave. The Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he left. So later, everyone was destroyed. Nabi Shu'aib alayhi salam said, how many people were there that was destroyed? He said they were the angel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The angel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Prophet Shu'aib, there were 100,000 followers who were all destroyed. Out of the 100,000 followers, Nabi Shu'aib alayhi salam said to the angel, he said, 100,000, there's going to be some good people out of those 100,000. He said, out of the 100,000, 60,000 were bad. He said 60,000 were bad, 40,000 were good. 40,000, Nabi Shu'aib alayhi salam said 40,000. Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroy them all? 40,000, there's a lot of people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed. The angel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said Allah destroyed them all because they did not rise against the injustice of their time. SubhanAllah, that's why they were all destroyed. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accompany us among those who rise against injustice. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to level us to the same level as the followers of the 12th, our 12th awaited Imam, and then join us in his army. We pray to Allah, we make a dua. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهله وتذل بها النفاق وأهله وتجعلنا فيها دعاء إلى طاعتك وارزقنا فيها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.